go down in somebody's book though for the number of times he's been running. He's got that record.
So,
Yeah, Jennifer, they just laid those there.
okay. Hey, how are you? Well, good. Thanks for your help today. Oh yeah. Okay. That was kind of quick. I have two. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. Happy to help. Okay, sorry. I'm just going to try to slide through. I'm sorry. Sorry. Good evening. Hello. How are you, lady?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Hanging in there best we can.
It's her too. Hi there. What you up to?
An agenda? They're on the back table. They're all taken there, but I have everything posted online. The agenda and the agenda packets. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got them available at any time. So if you just want to stop by,
Doing the interviewing for the chief.
if you want to, yeah.
We have
Or yeah, make sure Mr. Mazzell gets it. You're just gonna make you one, Mr. Mazzell.
I've got,
who's
it's going to be Chief King out of Easton. I was highly recommended. Chief Cowan. And Chief Rollins. Bill Rawlinson from Washington. So they're not county officials.
Okay.
Because we have, I'll tell you why.
I can't see all of it.
We have county
I'll put it to me.
law enforcement that are supporting one or another of the candidates. So that's the balance to have them on the panel.
And who from the council sits on that? Mr. Hunt.
And what they're going to do, they're going to
Nothing, because if you answer the first question wrong, you should turn over that thing and not turn it over. You don't live within the town limits. We don't want to know you. I hate stuff like this. I've been trying to answer it. I don't. This gives me a headache.
Is this the one from the Middies Commission, the survey?
I don't know.
This is for the flexibility.
I have to do the whole thing
Preferably,
tonight.
no, not tonight.
Oh, thank you.
No.
In a file.
I know you do this.
You don't have to do it. Check boxes, dot I's and cross T's.
Can't include it in the church.
You're full of work. You're not going to miss me, Charles.
Yes, we.
You can come see me in Atlanta.
No, I was known about it.
I'm right there at the airport. Directing traffic.
Look at these kids.
Yeah.
Do you think we're having cameras? Where are these cameras here? They're going to live stream.
Thank you,
the meeting.
Patricia.
Oh, good. Yeah. I guess it's going to be uploaded to the internet. This was.
I know where it is. I just knew a few.
No. Yes.
Who's here?
Oh, I don't know.
We actually had a meeting yesterday with Wanda Ritter. Does she own the building? Or is this totally different subject? It has been a week of.
Is this a
So, yes. Whatever most we can talk. I'm not sure.
like, do the cameras cost us anything?
I'm not thinking so. I'm thinking it's coming from the Michael. Not Howard. The one that's doing the spring fall fling.
Hatford?
No,
Okay.
Michael.
Oh,
What
I
is
don't-
Michael's name? Michael's last name? that's doing the camera.
Oh, Michael Pittman.
I was thinking about, she was asking about that.
Okay. Facebook. I logged into the town Facebook. Made sure I had all this crap.
You mean you get my stuff from here to Atlanta? Oh. You can come visit me. Live here. I should be able to read
Staff, Cecilia, I said they're participating in business.
I don't live right in Atlanta anyway. There's a picture.
Like I said, social capability to be able to just come out and put them into a designated.
We don't answer the first question, I don't answer.
But yeah, I did think
You live in the town limits, don't you, Charles?
Hey there, when did you sneak in?
Here first.
Oh, I've been talking.
I was here first.
Good evening, everyone. Going to call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock p.m. on October 10th, 2023. Just a few housekeeping items before we get further along in our agenda. We ask that all in attendance, please set your cell phones to silence or vibrate as well. That goes for us as well up here. It's a pleasure to see that we have a packed house tonight. We welcome everyone and thank you all for being here. In the spirit of being more transparent and involving more of the community into our town meetings. As you see, we have the cameras. We will be live tonight on Facebook Live. So hello to everybody on Facebook. Yeah, everybody get to see y'all being mean to us up here. So, So we call the meeting to order, and next we'll have our invocation by Councilman Sharp.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, we come tonight to give thanks and praise to you. We thank you for this opportunity to gather tonight, and we pray that progress will be made. We ask you to lead us and guide us, that we will do things pleasing in your sight, asking your blessing upon our town, our council, and our citizens. Just continue to keep us and guide us. This is our prayer in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Councilman Sharp, for saving us every meeting. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up, we have roll call by Ms. Jennifer Bracey.
Roy Sharp.
Here.
David Hunt.
Here.
Linda Blackburn. Here. Charles Freeman.
Here.
Charles Reynolds.
Here.
All are present and you have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Bracey. Now on to public comment. First up, we have Mr. Thomas Mazzell.
Good afternoon to the mayor, manager, and all the council.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, number one, we want to thank and recognize our chief for his long and short stay here with us. He has been a protected police chief here in the community. Next of all, we are concerned about the ordinance that was passed last month about this drinking ordinance in certain designated areas. We have this gun violence study going on, and we feel, a lot of people feel, and I feel myself, that it's just gonna add to the violence by having people drinking in the streets. So we feel like that was a bad move on the town councilman, mayor, the manager, and everybody that's involved. We have a lot of people that were talking about getting a petition against this because we feel like it's the wrong thing to do at this point. We need to combat all this shooting first because we feel like it's going to cause more shooting and violence in the streets. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And I do want to address that. We don't have a drinking ordinance. We have a social district that was passed. And the social district is not to promote drinking. The social district is to promote live entertainment. So if you're drinking inside of a venue and you want to take your brew outside, you can do that in the social district. If you want to have live music downtown, you want to have festivals, you want to have concerts, things of that nature, you can have if you go to different places in North Carolina, they have social districts. It brings businesses, it increases the population, and a lot of the crime here is being done by people that are not even the legal age to drink. So I want to clear that up and let y'all know that we will not do anything or pass anything that will endanger anyone in this town. And crime, safety of our citizens is our number one concern. So I just wanted to throw that out there and address that. Next up for our public comment, we do have Ms. Ida Harris. It looks like we have two. Okay. Two. Okay. That's fine.
You can just come up and get dressed up.
Come on, Miss Harris, you've been up here before.
No, I haven't. And it's gonna be quick.
Okay.
Oh, I need to see. Okay, the first thing is, the building beside me, the pavement is not level. If people falling down, I've fallen down myself. This lady right here, Alice Faith, she walked on the cane now, she had to go to the hospital and everything. They painted the sidewalk yellow, bright yellow, a couple of years ago when she fell. All is gone. It's bad, and it's still unlevel. Sylvia, I wrote her name up here, but I don't know her last name. Last month, because this one just came in, she fell down. The policeman was coming by, a lady policeman was coming by, town police, and she said she was gonna turn it into the town, she was coming down there to the town, turning for me and stuff, so that's why I didn't call anybody out, explain anything about her falling down just last month, I'm sorry. In the same, in front of the same building, right beside that, Gus One Stop Shop.
It's in front of the building. It's
Right
on
beside my building, Gus One Stop Shop, right? Sidewalk is uneven. They painted it yellow before. The yellow is gone. The bright yellow is gone, and people still fall down. I got Chess Walton name up there, he fell down too. Sylvia Chess, Alice Faith. She got papers from the doctor and stuff on before she fell. She went to the hospital.
And this is where?
Main Street, right beside my building. I'm 108.
108.
It's Gus One Stop Shop.
So who's responsible for repairing the sidewalk? Mr. Mayor, who's responsible for repaving or repairing those walls? The sidewalk, and you said in front of your building?
It's right beside my building.
In Main, on Main Street?
Right in front, right beside my building.
Stephen, have you done anything for that before? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, they painted it yellow before.
Well, something needs to happen
It's
besides
gone.
painting. Painting's not
This
gonna
is
solve
the
the
first,
problem.
the
This is the first we've heard of this, so we will certainly be looking into this. Yes, ma'am.
So she didn't report it. I told the police lady, I don't know her name.
It's not made it to my office. No, ma'am.
Yeah, but Steve was gonna say.
So
You wanna say
we
something,
have some
Steve?
guys coming in town, we're gonna do some sidewalks, they came last week, we just got a pull back on it, her piece of sidewalk on this court, so it has been addressed.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Next. My building, I fixed my roof and everything to make sure I'm not the problem. And stitch count, I had them, I paid for somebody to put their gutter up so the water wouldn't be coming in between the alleyway so much, because the stitch is coming in my building. And the other lady has a hole in her building, and the water's coming in it, and it's rising out, it's coming in my building. On the other side, I had some men to come and they put a partial roof or something to keep the water from coming, because when it rains, I have to scrub the floor. So they did something for me to keep the water from coming in there. Right now, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I'm trying to do all I can. And I even have, I'm paying a loan there for it, because I got the facade grant, I pay half of it, and I'm doing all I can, I'm trying to save it, that's all I can do. I need help. I can't take everybody to court, you know.
Has anyone came out and looked at your building after the conversation we had?
They've been, and I mean, this has been going on for years. That's one of the reasons why I got no little nerve up there. I
Gotcha.
don't do this. I need help. I got pictures, y'all wanna see?
Well, I came in there, Miss Ada. I know how it is.
We spoke about it
I
before
need
too.
help.
So, yeah. You wanna say something, Steve?
So, we went out, I've been out there before with her, and her business next door to Ms. Rhonda Riggs, I think she's gonna be all about her, legal problem too.
Yes, yesterday.
So, that was well too, together between the two buildings. And, it's a piece of cement, I guess, that's blocking the alleyway, and it's trapping the water in there. And it's seeping into the buildings. I went on the back of the path behind her building, and we drug the path, cleaned the curb and gutter off, trying to help her out, so she was thinking that the water was the path, doing that, but it's not the path, it's the two buildings that the merchants own is causing the problem. I mean, I don't think it's a challenge issue at all. I've been out there with Ms. Alice several times in her building. I've never been in this building, but the manager, myself, and John, we met with this building the other day.
Would you be able to? Ms. Harris, yeah, so.
Is her phone number on the document, and I can just reach
Yes.
out? Okay. I will reach out to you so that we can schedule a meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harris.
Thank you.
And our last public comment we have is from Mr. Donald Kirkland.
Good evening, everybody. I think I was gonna make it, I just got back to Virginia Beach, so. First I'd like to, say a prayer for Israel right now being bombarded. Everybody's seen the news, a lot of murder, killing going on over there. Anybody that has Jewish friends or whatnot, it kind of touches the home. We have some around here. The other issue I wanted to speak on was the policing. Sunday we had the issue at Walmart with the young lady. I was there for the entire time directing traffic. The police department exercised extreme professionalism in dealing with that. It couldn't have had a better outcome than be a peaceful one that came out of that. The way they handled it, the way everything was done, with the evacuation of the store and whatnot, they need to be commended for what they did. They don't get as much praise as they should. I'm not one of the first one to critique them in a minute, and I'll give them praise too. So some up here know that, really wait. But they did a really good job, and they're doing it throughout the town as well as best they can for what they got. So I would like to ask y'all to give them a good round of applause and thank them for what they've done, especially that young lady, because that was a very long, touchy situation out there. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Yeah, let's give this a round. Thank you, Mr. Kirkland. That was a really good comment. Just building upon that too, with that professionalism do want to say thank you to the police department for putting that out on Facebook and letting everyone know and putting the facts out, because we was getting calls about 4 different stories. So thank you for putting that out there and putting the community at ease and calming everyone's nerves. So thank you for your service and everything that you do for us. Okay. All right. Next up, we have approval of agenda. Do we have any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I had one. I wanted to have a discussion about the council committee for the charter. I would like to have a charter committee created so we can talk about and have a discussion about the 2 meetings a month instead of 1 meeting a month.
So that'd be agenda item number 8 for town charter discussion. Are there any other additions to the agenda? If there's no other changes to the agenda, do we have a motion to approve with the addition of agenda item number 8?
Motion to approve, Mr. Jones, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
All right. Motion is made, properly second to approve the agenda with the addition of item number 8 for town charter discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carried. Next, we'll move to our consent agenda. Ms. Etheridge.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Council, citizens. Our consent agenda items this evening consist of the approval of minutes for the September 12th, 2023 regular meeting, the approval of minutes for the September 29th, 2023 special meeting. I have budget ordinance number 8, which is referencing our National Night Out Walmart donation to amend the budget. Budget ordinance number 9, referencing the Governor's Crime Commission grant funding. And I would also like to ask for approval for an honorary proclamation to name this week as Fire Prevention Week for our fire department and all that they do. That concludes the consent agenda, and I respectfully request approval if there are no questions.
Motion to approve, Mr. Mayor.
We have a second.
Second.
Motion is made, properly second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carried. First up on our agenda tonight, we have recognition of 6 new town employees. Ms. Etheridge.
Yes, and I'm very pleased to announce our new employees. If I could ask Stephen and his staff to come up front. And I also have Doug Wilson. Doug White, I'm sorry. My apologies, Doug.
That's my cousin there, you gotta get his name right.
I know. I just wrote that wrong.
On behalf of the Public Works Department, we got some new team members here. Mr. Nathan Ward, Mr. Melvin Bone Jr., Mr. Jamal Bone. They all part of our water and sewer division. Mr. Keepers Lee, he's in our street department. And this youth right here, doing us really well, motivating some of the old guys. We all know that youth is like a beautiful thing. And it's Mr. Doug White right here. He's my tag team partner. He and I kind of grew up together in the town a little bit. He left me, but now he's back. And he's bringing a lot of energy too, even though he's not young. So, y'all to the town, y'all to the council.
And thank you, Mr. White.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations to all the new staff, and thank you, Stephen, for all of the personnel services and getting the staff. Very excited for our Parks and Rec as well. It's been a long time coming, so excited for that.
I appreciate that, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to highlight Mr. Doug as the Parks and Rec director. We have went a long time without Parks and Rec, and then we finally have someone that I feel and have confidence in that's going to do a good job. So welcome to the team, and welcome all you guys to the team, definitely.
All right, Next on our agenda, we have the vote on ordinance number 10. This is referencing the ordinance declaring a road closure for the 2023 downtown Ahoskie event.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As the council is aware, any state-maintained street closing for the town events requires a formal ordinance be approved by town council. The town wishes to close the section of Main Street from Lloyd to McGlone Streets on Saturday, October 14th, 2023, in order to host the Ahoskie Fall Fling event. Staff respectfully requests approval of ordinance 2023-2024-10, declaring a road closure for 2023 downtown Ahoskie event.
Motion to approve, Mr. Mayor.
Before I second, Mr. Reynolds, I'm gonna second. But I want everybody to sit here tonight. I want y'all to come out Saturday to the Ahoskie Fall Fling. Okay, so come enjoy yourself. It's something for everybody on both ends of the street. It was something we haven't had in a while, and I would love to see all of y'all out there. So please come out. And I second that motion, Mr. Reynolds.
One more motion. I make a motion that Mr. Hot give us our first string.
All right,
No second.
No, sir.
Well, our first motion has been made in proper second to approve the ordinance for the road closure for the 2023 downtown Ahoskie event. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Before we go to item number 3, I definitely want to echo the sentiment. I know we have some volunteers that are here planning that event and have working very hard to make that event successful. So thank you to all the volunteers here that are planning, and that will be Saturday, and we look forward to seeing everyone out there with us. For item number 3, we have the discussion and approval of FEMA's assistance for a firefighter grant.
Yes, thank you again. Attached in your packets, you will find the documentation for the FEMA Assistance for Firefighter Grant, or also known as AFG. In April, the town was noticed that we had received a grant of $1 million for the purchase of a fire truck to be built per specifications. We requested more than the $1 million for this purchase, but were only awarded the $1 million due to our population size. This request asks only for the approval of the $1 million in FEMA AFG grant funding so that we do not lose the allocation. Staff respectfully requests acceptance of FEMA's Assistance to Firefighter Grant Award of $1 million for the purpose to be used towards the purchase of a new fire truck as intended per the grant.
Ms. Edger, what is the total cost of that vehicle?
At the present time, it's approximately $1.8 million.
I'm gonna ask that we table this. I know it may be a time-sensitive situation, but I'm asking that we table this until we can have a continued meeting or a workshop. Because this is kind of a two-parter here. We haven't gotten to the second part that we have to do. So I don't feel comfortable with doing this part at this time. So it's up to council, but I'm just gonna ask that we have a continued meeting or a workshop to discuss this into detail so we can have all the facts. So that's my recommendation.
This is just the approval of the grant, so this is not committing us to any additional funds, just as additional clarification also.
I think what Mr. Hunt is trying to say, we don't want to get this, where are we gonna get this other money from? That's what I think he's going on in.
That was the discussion in the next item, and I think I had sent documentation just to discuss that most of our small communities are utilizing funding from the LGC.
Yes,
For
ma'am.
that, because it's too costly to take those monies from our fund balance.
Before we table something, Mr. Mayor, I want to make sure that everyone here understands what we're speaking of. We're not talking about applying for $1 million. We're talking about sending in a recommendation saying that we would like to have our $1 million if it becomes available to us we're not having to pay anything back. It doesn't cost us anything to ask for it at this point in time. So I think we'd be all right asking permission, and then we can study the rest of it a little later on, but let's don't let a date go by and we miss out on getting the $1 million.
Okay, all right, well, I was trying not to do this. But you say we was notified in April that we received this award letter. Our award letter shows a date effective January 23 of 2023. This $1 million in this award letter says we're gonna have to put 50,000 to that. So if we accept this award, I'm just making sure and making clear that we're not gonna be putting $50,000 to accept this award at this time.
That is correct. And and Mike, if you would like to speak to the timeframes, this award took quite an extensive amount of time.
Yes, ma'am.
It did.
It's gonna be a long process. Right now with the grant that we have awarded, with the truck that we're looking to purchase, is about a 30-month build time. And there is time constraints with the grant expiring in a short amount of time. So, if there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer them, but it's kind of a long, detailed process if we went from start to finish on the whole project.
So when is the grant expire?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Right now, the grant is stated to expire January 25, which I reached out to FEMA, we can get a 1-year extension on that grant, so January 26.
So what's the time restraint on us to actually approve and accept this grant tonight?
I would like to see it done within the next 30 days if possible, then we can move forward. The truck is already one of the long processes, is actually making the specifications for the truck. Thankfully, we've already got that done. Once we sign the contract, which will take about 30, 60 days, then that's when the 30 months start.
And also with inflationary pressures, we don't want to have this continue where we have looked in every area possible. We have worked with USDA, Mr. Reginald Spate, their director. We have worked tirelessly to try to find matching funding for the overrun in the cost versus what we were allowed based on our population size. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, Mike has tirelessly looked for reallocation of USDA funding. I've looked in every other source, and there just is not a market governmentally for equipment funding. It is just not there. So that is why we took, the time to try to research every avenue that we could before bringing this to you.
Okay. And you said 30 more days, correct, Chief?
Yes, sir, that would put us, should put us in line as long as we don't, just.
I applaud you for going after this. I think it was great. I do commend you for doing that. I'm not trying to slow your process down. I know you've been working hard on it. But as far as my decision, I can't speak for no one else. I don't feel comfortable approving it tonight. So that's entirely up to you guys. I just don't feel comfortable approving it. I think we need to have a discussion further about it in detail.
And the 30 days will not hinder you from doing what you're trying to do?
No, sir, as long as we continue to move forward. Because so far, everything on our end,
Everything else
truck
discussed.
specifications done, all that's ready. The prices are there, everything's there. One downfall is possibly at the end of this month, they could have a price increase if a contract is not signed. I am going to reach out tomorrow to see if actually you have to sign the contract, or could we do like a promissory, to lock in that price before the manufacturer has a price increase, which the beginning of their year runs November, October, I guess, like where I was July to June. And typically that's when they see the price increases is in the end of October.
What does this truck have that the trucks we have now don't have?
Sir, I'm sorry.
What are the benefits of the truck you're talking about buying? What are they over the ones that we do have?
The truck that we're actually looking at replacing right now is a 1987 platform truck, which we currently have. When we did the specifications on the new truck, possibly We just told them we wanted a plain truck, which is what we got, nothing fancy, what I call a parade truck. It's a fire truck, and all we did was want one new. You know, something that was, because our truck man is currently about 36 years old, and by the time if the grant goes through, by the time we'd actually get our truck and put it in service, the current truck we're operating would be 40 years old.
Is it paid for?
Yes, sir, the truck we have now, yes, sir.
And I would also mention, on the heels of what Mike is discussing, the second agenda item, which I know we can entertain at another time, but I would like to bring up the importance of the LGC only meets monthly. So if we do choose to utilize the LGC to make up that funding variance, we may be out later beyond when his time frame really ends for that pricing requirement. So that's why we wanted to try to bring this all at one time.
Is there a reason that this hasn't came before us since April until now?
Yes, it is. The reason is because we have been trying tirelessly to find additional funding options. The LGC was my very last option. I did not want to have to ask the state for the funding, but our fund balance cannot hold it.
Would it be, I mean, I think, you know, since we'll be going to the LGC and this will be, you know, that we will be incurring.
Yes, sir.
Would everyone be comfortable if we did a special meeting?
Sure.
I mean, we can do that before the month is out. And, you know, just so we can talk it a little bit and everyone can be comfortable with our decision.
That's fine.
I think we need a motion.
I'll make a motion to that, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley.
All right, so we have a motion that's been made and properly second to table this discussion for a special meeting.
Schedule that meeting tonight, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, I say we go ahead and get that scheduled. Yes. All in favor? All opposed?
No. I said no.
Motion carried. I need to, for the, go ahead and for the special meeting.
How much time has to be allotted for the special meeting to be called?
48 hours. Mhm. So if you
Can we
schedule
do
it,
it?
for example, like Monday morning, I mean Friday morning.
Talking about this Friday?
Yes, sir.
I can't do that. I'm not coming.
I can't be here this
I won't
Friday.
be here.
I can do Monday the 16th.
I have a meeting at 9 on the 16th.
I have a 1:30.
Well, before we moved from Friday, we only had two that said they couldn't be here Friday. How many of us can be here Friday? You can be here, Mr. Sharp. Mr. Mayor, can you be here as well? Anytime that's feasible for you.
I'm not available 10 or 1, but other than that.
How about tomorrow?
We have to have
I
at
can't
least
stay
48
tonight.
hours to run the notice.
Any other dates that work for you?
I'm available anytime, Mr. Mayor.
We have Friday, we have Monday.
I could do Friday morning.
If you've got 3.
We've got 3 council members.
So Friday at 9.
Yeah, Friday night.
Friday at 9.
This Friday?
Mr. Reynolds, can you be here Friday at 9?
This Friday?
Yes, sir.
I'll see if I can roll over that area.
We'll bring the biscuit.
The mayor's gonna bring you a biscuit.
Appreciate it. Make it cheap.
Friday at 9.
Yes, sir.
So with that, we're tabling, agenda item number 4, along with that as well.
3 and 4.
3 and 4. So we'll move to agenda item number 5, which will be to vote on resolution number 2023-24-6, which is the resolution of retirement for Police Chief Jimmy Asbell. I do not want to say that, but.
I know. Thank you, Mayor. We're not going to read this in its entirety tonight, but we did want the council to please vote on Resolution 2023-2024-6, the resolution of retirement for Police Chief Jimmy Asbell. It will be presented at a later date upon his retirement.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is made and properly, second to approve the resolution number 2023-24-6 with retirement of Police Chief Jimmy Asbell. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. And next up, we have the vote on amendment to personnel policy. This is for employee benefits, section 13, employee recognition and retirement.
Yes, thank you. You will find a revised section of the Town of Ahoskie Employee Manual in your council packets this evening. This section amends our current policy to include the attached Article 6, Employee Benefits, Section 13, Employee Recognition at Retirement. If approved, this amendment will be included in our current personnel policy, which will be the most current version of our controlling personnel policy document. Staff respectfully requests approval of amendment added October 10th, 2023 to Article 6, Employee Benefits, Section 13, Employee Recognition at Retirement.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is made and properly second to approve the amendment to the personnel policy, Article 6, Employee Benefits, Section 13, for employee recognition and retirement. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have approval of vacancy to the Historic Commission. Ms. Bracy?
Okay, in front of you in your packets today, we have a request by Janetta Chavis to fill one of the 2 remaining vacancies on the Historic Commission. This vacancy would, or the vacancies on this Historic Commission have been there for several years, so I believe that her addition to the Historic Commission would help again fulfill so that we have a full board as well for the allowance of a quorum the next time a meeting needs to be called.
I think everybody in here has viewed her application. Do we have the motion to approve?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Right, motion is made properly second to approve Ms. Chavis' appointment to the Historic Commission. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
And I believe she's here if she would stand where everyone could see who she is.
Congratulations, Ms. Chavis. Thank you for joining the board. And the last agenda item we have is for item number 8, which is the town charter discussion.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. We've had several discussions about creating a charter committee to look at the charter, to update it, and to talk about having more than one meeting a month. So I'm open for discussion.
I just had a question. So the discussion would be to form a committee, and that committee will work on doing the separate, the additional thing?
Yes.
Okay. And is this committee, any suggestions of specific personnel?
I don't know if our attorney would like to be on the committee, but we're definitely gonna need her guidance dealing with the legal document of such. So I highly recommend that the committee definitely gives it to her before we bring it to council.
I'm happy to serve or just attend the meetings with the committee, and offer my perspective.
So my first recommendation is Mayor White.
I was thinking about being, too. I know it's coming. But, yeah, I'll be happy to serve.
Question. Why do we need a committee to decide whether once a month or twice a month?
I'm gonna let you.
I think what Councilman Hunt would like to form this committee to do is to basically learn the logistics of what it would take to potentially amend the charter. And that will take some research, and we don't want to subject the entire board to my initial legal research in order to figure out what has to happen to potentially change it. And then that committee would take what I give them as far as legal information, to discuss and bring their suggestions to the full board. That is my interpretation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I just feel that sometimes we have enough business to have 2 meetings a month. And to move the town forward, I think having 2 meetings a month will show our citizens that we're actually working. 1 meeting a month is fine, but some months we do have they call special meetings. So if we already have these 2 meetings a month planned for the calendar year, we don't have to call as many special meetings.
That would be good.
And
That would be good.
What
Yes,
other, just so, for just general knowledge, what other municipalities and counties have 2 meetings?
Well, I notice our county manager interim is here tonight. Could you please stand, sir? I don't know if everyone knows him. I don't even know your name, but I know you're the county manager. All right, Mr. Patterson, I do know the Hertford County Board of Commissioners meet twice a month. I know the town of Murfreesboro meets twice a month. So it seems to be a trend of municipalities and counties doing it. And I just like with the social district, I want to kind of bring us up to speed with everybody else and kind of see if we can have 2 meetings a month.
Would that include discussion too, of perhaps day and night? I think
Yes,
that's what
yes.
the county does.
Yes.
So that you do get people who can't get here at night.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
get people, we used to have day meetings here in town, and we found that we get a lot more participation by having them at night.
Right.
So what you need now, you need a panel to, right now, that what you said?
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion that you and Sharp be that committee.
I'm on too many committees now, Mr. Thank you for that recommendation, but the last thing I need right now is another committee. So I decline.
So it sounds like you're nominating.
I shoot it back at Mr. Reynolds.
I do.
Thank you.
Any other suggestions?
I have none, no, sir. Just need a motion. Oh, what, I see who you're looking at. I think so too. Yeah.
I guess we can get together on the first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need a motion on this.
I would, yes, yes, Mayor.
Okay.
Well, you need a motion now?
Motion to approve the.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion has been made and properly second. Okay. To approve the committee for town charter discussion and planning, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you for that agenda item, Councilman Hunt. Next up, we have our staff reports.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just want to remind everybody that this is National Fire Prevention Week. Fire safety starts at home. Everybody, the number one cause of fire in a home is actually by cooking. unattended cooking. So let's just keep that in mind. This week, me and my staff, we are at Fairfield.
That's right, that's right.
We're training pre-K through third grade, teaching different fire safety tips that are age appropriate, learning their address, how to dial 911. It's about a 30-minute program we go through with each class, which is 36 classes out there. But it's enjoyable. The kids love it. They love the big red truck. We can't truck, we let them do that too. So, but other than that, everything the fire department's moving pretty well.
And that camper that sits out here, that is what you train these kids and.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And we actually received that on a grant.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I saw it parked out there at the school.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We actually go to a high school Christian school as well. We do some type of maybe stuff at a high school elementary school, but we don't do the camper because everybody at a high school elementary has already done that for 4 years.
Gotcha.
So we kind of step it up, age appropriate to the class that we're talking to. So, but everything's going well.
That's great.
Just want you to know, if you go to Fairfield, it's a little boy that's going to ask you a million questions.
Might be two little boys.
Just give him a little patience. It belongs to me, okay?
Right.
A lot of them has nothing to do about the fire. So, thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. How are y'all tonight?
Good evening.
It's good to be here. Just to give you a little update on the police department, you'll see in your packet where you've got your report from the police department. Our call volume is still below normal from what it has been in previous months. So I continue to commend the officers and the staff for all the work that they're doing. We still have, as mentioned earlier in the meeting, concerns about the crime, violent crime and stuff, and we're still addressing that as we have per previous meetings and things we've discussed with you guys. We are still actively working with gun control. We are already just a little over 50 guns seized this year. If y'all recall, probably 5-6 months ago, we talked about this, and I told you last year we had seized about 55 or 56 for the whole total year. We're already knocking on the door of passing that. The officers are actively engaging people in the community. We're being very proactive to get the guns off the street and have these encounters with these individuals. So that just goes to having a well-trained staff like we have in the police department and their ability to get out and utilize the laws to their benefit to get these guns and stuff off the street. As far as accidents, that's usually a topic of discussion that I get from quite a bit of citizens throughout the community. Accidents for the last several months have been down as well. We're below 10. I think we're like 7 or 8 for the last month, and normally we have been running in the upper teens, early 20s. We've been, a lot of the new officers that we've hired over the last 2 years, we've gotten through radar school. They're out enforcing traffic as well, in addition to the other things, slowing people down. And a lot of those are contributing to traffic enforcement as well. So we're trying to combine both violent crime and traffic accidents all together because sometimes they run hand in hand. So that has been beneficial too. Just a little bit of update on behind the hospital. Public Works has gotten all the signs and stuff up back there from the previous meetings where y'all approved those changes back there. I've talked with several of the residents. There's 1 or 2 who says they still see some issues, but then there are others that are saying they're seeing improvement. So I think that's going to continue to be a work in progress. Some of the 4-way stops at some of those locations, people are not used to seeing them. So it's like if you travel the roads on a daily basis, it's going to take some time to acclimate yourself to a new traffic pattern. So officers have not been really heavily enforcing more than just reinforcing to the people that the signs exist. For new traffic patterns and trying to enforce it that way before we just erect a new sign and then the very first time somebody runs through it with a ticket. We're trying to be mindful of everybody's space and educate them more so than always charging violators. Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you, did you put the speed limit over on Pembroke? There's a speed limit sign on Pembroke now.
the digital one that picks up how fast you're going?
We did.
Did you put that there because of the four-way stops?
We put it there to help with the speeding complaints that we were getting on Pembroke prior to the new four-way stop being
But
put in.
it's really helpful, and I've had comments made that it's helpful because the new four-way stop is difficult to remember and you don't expect it.
Correct.
But when all of a sudden you're seeing that digital speed limit sign, then you're sort of more aware of your surroundings. I don't know what I don't know the mental
Yes,
health
we've
piece of
gotten
that.
good feedback from several of the residents there that, we're concerned about the speeding in that area.
Oh,
and
yeah.
placement that we strategically placed that in relation to where those four-way stops were. to
Well, it
help
really
with the
helps.
educational tool
Yeah.
as well.
You might take that into note. That's a good way to get people sort of acclimated, I think, to four-way signs, speed limit
ma'am.
signs. But the speed limit has stopped on the speeding.
Yes.
It's hard to speed now.
Yes, ma'am. And that was some of the positive feedback we were getting based
Yeah.
off council's approval to make those traffic patterns work. So we thank you for that. Other than that, everything else is running pretty smooth at the police department. We're just handling the day-to-day operations, continuing to be proactive in the community, continuing to do community involvement where the officers are still out of their vehicles, walking in the neighborhoods, trying to be visible and speak to people so that they can continue to promote that community policing. And then other than that, tonight's a very bittersweet moment for me, as everybody knows. Next Friday is my last day, and I will be retired. I have spent my whole adult career doing this. I said I'm gonna do this. Those that know me in the community, I've had so many phone calls over the last 30 days asking me not to resign. I've gotten right here tonight. I have worked really hard in my career to be sure that any involvement that I had with the citizens, that it was always in a positive manner. I have tried to instill that in every one of my officers that I have trained along the way. It's very important to me that community policing is where the rubber meets the road in my aspect. And for law enforcement, we have to be there on the front lines to do all the hard work that nobody else wants to do. And we take sometimes a lot of criticism from whether we're doing it right or doing it wrong. But we have a well-trained staff, and I am so proud of each and every member of that High Police Department. I have worked over the years when I was a major. I was in charge of hiring. I was in charge of training, as well as after being promoted to the chief. And we have built a career ladder in place for that police department to be sure that we set career plans in place for every single employee, whether they were new employees, brand new out of school, all the way to veteran staff. And we worked on trying to educate everybody so that there would always be a place for them in a hospital. It's hard to draw law enforcement to a hospital. It's hard to find outside resources to come to a hospital that want to be officers here. And my mindset's always been train everybody so they can leave, but you treat everybody so they want to stay. And I have focused so hard on my career to promote that with our staff, so that when opportunities come available for these individuals, that their hard work will be recognized, and that there's always room for advancement within the department, and the department always has somebody that's ready to step forward and step into these positions. And I think when those opportunities come to pass, these officers that work hard throughout their careers, when they see a light and an opportunity for those advancements, they understand that all their training and everything they put in place was worth all the efforts that they had to do. The job is tough in and of itself, but to continue to do the training on top of it they're all the officers to be commended for it. I want to thank all of the council members. Y'all have been super supportive of me throughout the whole career. I've worked with quite a few of you for many, many years. Y'all have been super supportive of me since I've become chief of police, and I could not have asked for a better council to work with. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. I'm gonna miss all of you. I want to publicly thank Lee as my boss. I can speak on the fact that I've worked with several other previous town administrators and not taking anything away from any of them. But I can tell you that Lee has been a beacon of light for me and for many of the other department heads because we've had conversations. She is very inspirational in her approach towards governing, very, very positive in her conversations and team building skills that she has with all the department heads. She's like a breath of fresh air. When we have our department head meetings weekly, she stays very informed, and she's just an inspiration to work for her. I want to say thank you so much publicly for all that you've done for me in our short time that we've been working together, and all the girls at the town hall, mayor, and everybody. I can't say enough about the positive relationships and the team building that has been put in place throughout the years, and especially since Lee's been here. There is a tremendous improvement, and I just can't say thank you enough for all that you've given us, and I'm gonna miss working with you and everybody out here. I'll end with this. I didn't plan to speak this long, but to the citizens, I want to say thank you to every one of y'all. There's a lot of folks in here that I knew for many years. Y'all have always been very supportive of me, always been encouraging. Y'all kept me in prayer, and kept me lifted up. I can only say thank you, and I appreciate it all.
Thank you, Chief, for those kind words. I just want, sorry, before you go, Steve, I just want to say, there's any job in the hospital that I don't want to have, it's that one right there, let me tell you. So, yeah, the applaud you got tonight is not enough. I know we're gonna officially celebrate you, but I definitely want to say it's been a pleasure working with you. I think I speak for everyone when I say that. When we started the search, we all put in, different things that we wanted in our chief. And I remember what I put in my little wish list, and you exemplified everything that I wanted. Your leadership in the times that we're in has been very efficient and should be commended. So I just want to thank you for everything that you do, because you have a tireless job, and it goes without saying. Thank you so much for all that you do for us.
Good evening, Council. I'm tough to come behind that. My public works department, like the chief said, we took care of the signs back there in that area. And we've basically been working to get prepared for our fall fling downtown. Power wash some sidewalks, putting out some mulch, putting up some signs. Ms. Blackburn, your clock is not working again, but we're working on getting it back straight. And Mr. Freeman, the man is coming on October 16th to take care of the power wash. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Lasser.
Oh, man.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Inspection wise, there's really not a whole lot to add. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out of the way right now. I know it's coming. October the 31st. That is the projected opening date for Mojo's. That came from the number 2 guy.
Yeah.
So everybody that question was coming, so I want to go ahead and get that out of the way.
Did the public hear that? I want to make sure everybody heard that. The open date for Bojangles.
Opening date for Bojangles. Their final inspection is actually scheduled next week, and I'm not expecting any problems. They've been doing their due diligence, keeping everything up to code and beyond. So that's looking good. Don't see any problems there. Had kind of a slow September as far as permits. It's picked back up in one day. A couple of other small items that are going on. We're getting the Wells Fargo ATM install permits have been issued for that. That will go at the Murphy station over there by Walmart. And another somewhat large project will be the remodel of the Speedway on Memorial Drive with a name change to 7-Eleven. They're going to update that facility. Other than that, it's pretty much all the projects that are going on. I'm continuing to work with the town manager and
town attorney on the condemnations and things of that nature and code enforcement stuff. So, other than that, doing our due diligence and trying to make sure we get everything done right and the way it ought to be done. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you so much.
I don't really have too much to add. The rezoning of 101 North Mitchell Street was approved, so we should have a fish market opening soon at that location. I know they've painted it and done it up real pretty. We have a few other new businesses open up and some talks about some really interesting ones that hopefully I can talk about later. But we have some code enforcement wise, we've been sending out a lot more junk letters than grass letters recently. There's been a lot more complaints about that. For the junk, it's kind of different than the grass. We don't go in and take it. They just get fined. So it's a little bit harder to enforce because we can't go in and take their stuff away. We can only fine them for what's in the ordinance. But other than that, there's really nothing new unless anybody has any questions. Thank you.
Do we have an opening date for the fish market?
No, they have scheduled their fire inspection. It was actually today.
Okay.
So, should be really soon.
They told me the 27th is what they told me.
Okay.
Remind them to do their business.
No, they have it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Connie.
Good evening. I don't have a whole lot, everything's going well. All samples in compliance this month, past month. New permit actually took effect the first of this month, October 1st. And the only little issues we had was we had 4 call-ins. I think it was just a glitch in the power system, thank goodness, that's the major, and just the rain. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not on the list, I really am. Financial wise, we are doing great. We just gone through our first quarter for the year. We are at 25% expenditure wise, so we are on point where we need to be as far as revenue. Still waiting on taxes to come through. Again, we'll start seeing that increase in the next upcoming months. Auditors were on site September the 19th, 20th, and 21st. I had 3 different ones, which we all worked really well together. They will not be on site from here on out. Everything will be done off-site and through email and their organizer. But all is looking good. They are talking possibly presentating the financial statements either December or January. So we should be good this year. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah, it feels so good to hear we doing good financially. Right. So good to hear that. Any other reports?
No, we'll ask Mr. White to join us once he gets settled in with the Parks and Recreation, not Mr. Wilson.
Okay. All right. So thank you to all the staff for the department reports. Next, we'll have comments from council.
I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and our departments and chief. I really appreciate in many ways you have talked with me and helped us in a lot of things. I just want to commend you for what you've done.
I'd like to make a comment. It's very difficult to sit here and listen to Jimmy talk about leaving. I think that's difficult for all of us. I've had the honor of working with Jimmy since I came to the town in one capacity or the other. And you're right, no one wants his job. But he does a fine job of it. And thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for everything you've done and for what you've done for the department.
Any other comments? All right, I want to just thank everyone for being here tonight again. Thank you to the production crew in the back for having us live before the cameras and having us to be a little more transparent. And yeah, I see everyone Saturday. And at this time, we'll ask for a motion to go into closed session for personnel matters.
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made and proper second to in closed session. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.